Hey, so buckle up, grab a drink, grab a snack, because today I'm here with unequivocally my biggest book haul ever. I think at my last count, I was around 80 or 85, so it's gonna be a long one. So my last book haul was in January, and that was after I went fully rogue with my friend Laurel when they were in town. Well, not in town, but in Ohio visiting for a wedding. So I walked down to Cincinnati and we went a little rogue at Barnes. So that weekend, I went up to my best friend Sarah's house to have a little Onyx Storm party. And we had a lot of trauma that weekend. So we got a lot of books, and then it just spiraled out of control after that. But in my defense, I had gift cards, I had rewards, and my Barnes closed. Well, okay, it like moved one shopping center over, so they had a huge closing sale, and the premium discount still applied with the closing sale. So for several months, I had access to books at 35% off. And I know I don't need to give like a huge disclaimer, but this size book haul is not the norm for me. And I'm on like a book buying ban. Well, I'm not going to say ban because that's harsh, but on a book buying very low buy. But right now, my game plan is to not allow myself to impulse buy books. Like, they have to be on the list. So right now, like on the list, I've got Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston, and then K.L. Walter's new book. I forget what it's called, but those are like the three that are on my like list right now. I don't think I'm going to go too in depth with everything just because there are so many to get through. So this might be a very rapid fire video. First, I picked up the rest of the Magnolia Parks series. Have I read the first one? No. Was I lying in bed one night at 3:30 a.m. and decided that I needed to order all of the UK covers from Waterstones at that exact second because the new covers are fugly? Yes. Very anti-buying a whole series before even reading one book in it, but it was a life or death situation, okay? Next, I've got Deep Cuts by Holly Brickley, and this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive. I did also get the Book of the Month one before I saw this one, so I do have 2 copies of this one, so that's my bad, but this one came with stickers, so how could I not? And the cover is so cute. It is different from the Book of the Month one. I will pop a picture up, but it's so good. And Laurel gave this one 5 stars, so I'm so hyped. I read the first like 10 pages and I was fully sold, so yeah, super stoked for this. Next up, I think this is the only nonfiction in the whole haul. Dylan Goes Electric by Elijah Wald. I'm a big Bob Dylan fan, and A Complete Unknown was my favorite movie of 2024, and it shot its way right into my top 10 favorites of all time. The movie was based on this book, so it felt essential to grab this. If you like Timothée Chalamet and you have not seen A Complete Unknown, you need to go watch it. It's so good, especially if you like music. Anyway, okay. Next, we've got Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, which is, I believe, like a spicy college romance about a diver and a swimmer. And like, this edition is just, it's so cute. Actually, I don't know if this is a special edition or if this is just how it is, but it's so cute nonetheless. Next, I've got While We're Young and What Happens After Midnight by K.L. Walter. I read The Summer of Broken Rules last summer, and that's been my entire personality ever since. It was just the cutest most perfect summer book. Based on that book alone, K.L. Walter has turned into an auto-buy author for me. Next, we've got Between Friends and Lovers by Shirlene Obuobi. And first of all, I bought this because of the cover. But second of all, I feel like everyone who I've seen review this really, really likes it. I don't know if it's like love triangle vibes, that's what I'm assuming. But yeah, this was definitely an impulse buy based on the cover alone. Next, I've got my first Kennedy Ryan book. So we've got Real and Before I Let Go. I feel like everyone loves Kennedy Ryan. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anybody give any of her books a bad review. And I'm very, very stoked to give her a try. Plus, like, the razzle dazzle on this cover, oh, it's so pretty. All right, next we've got Catalina by Carla Cornejo Villavicencio. I think that's how we pronounce that. Y'all know I grew up speaking French. I did not grow up speaking Spanish, so please ignore my pronunciations. But first of all, top tier cover, 10 out of 10. But this looks like it is about a Harvard senior who is undocumented and how she's just kind of like navigating what life looks like after college as an undocumented girl. It seems so good. It's super short. I think only like not even 200 pages, 196. So yeah, it's super short. And I think this is going to be really good. It's got a ton of accolades on the back as well. So I'm very excited to read this one. All right. So next up, I've got Rachel Weisz's Group Chat by Lauren Applebaum. And this appears to be kind of like a neighbors to lovers rom-com, so I think this is going to be super cute. So next I've got Perfection by Vincenzo Latronico. I don't know. It is an Italian book that was translated into English, and it is about a millennial couple living in Berlin. It looks like it is about what it means to be a millennial trying to find your own identity in a very curated online world. Clearly, I'm a millennial, so I feel like I'm going to heavily relate to this, and I'm scared to read it. Okay, I lied earlier. This is also a nonfiction. It is an autobiography, and it is called Lion by Sonia Walger, I don't know. But first of all, this cover is wild. And I guess her dad has like lived 1,000 lives, and it's his life story and also her life story growing up with such a wild dad. Intrigued to read this one because my dad is my best friend, and he's also lived 1,000 lives, and he's also unhinged. So I think this will be an interesting one for me. Next, we've got The Dream Hotel by Layla Lalami. And basically, it's set in a not too distant dystopian America where you can get arrested and sent to camps based on your dreams. So this feels very very apt for the moment as an American, and I'm terrified to read this, but from the blurb and the reviews, it seems like something that everyone needs to read. So wish me luck. Also wish me luck as an American. All right, speaking of books that I got because I live in America and everything going on right now and for the foreseeable future, I got 1984 by George Orwell, Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury, and of course, The Mac Daddy, Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. So that's all I'm gonna say on those 3 books. Buy the banned books while we still can. Okay, moving on. Anyway, next I've got 20,000 Leagues Under the Sun by Jules Verne, and the only reason I got this high key was because it had Columbus Crew Goosebumps Kit energy, so that's that. But I feel like it's a classic, and also Jules Verne is such a classic French author, so I'm excited to have this in my collection. Can't really see my little Columbus Crew shrine up there right now, but This book looks so good with it, so I might display it up there. I don't know yet. Next up, we've got some horror. Well, actually, I think this one is a thriller, but we've got Holly by Stephen King. Next, we've got Ring by Koji Suzuki, and I fully forgot that The Ring was based on a book. It's just such a classic horror movie at this point, but I fully forgot until I saw this at Barnes, and this edition is just so fucking sick. Like, it's like the little VHS tape. Like, are you kidding? And like the TV static, iconic. Super stoked to read. Then we've got Pay the Piper by George A. Romero and Daniel Kraus. And the cover is so sick. I didn't really like look at what this was about, but the cashier at Barnes said that this was one of his favorite books, so I'm super stoked to read this. And then we've got Out There Screaming, which is, I believe, like a short story anthology by Jordan Peele. And we all know what Jordan Peele is currently doing in the horror movie space. So I'm very excited to see what he's doing in the horror book space. Next up, we've got Betty by Tiffany McDaniel. First of all, beautiful cover. I've heard so many good things about this. This was a 6-star read for my mom, and every person I've seen review this book has just said it's absolutely perfect and gut-wrenching, and it is a coming-of-age book about an Appalachian girl, and I think that Appalachia is such an underrepresented part of the country. It's like such a big part of the country, but like people who don't live there like don't know anything about it. So I think it's really interesting to read about it. My freshman year of college, I went to a little liberal arts school called Muskingum, and it was on the outskirts of Appalachia. And one of the first things that we did there was like take a required class on Appalachian history and culture, and it was so interesting. Yeah, so I think this will be a good one, and I don't think I'm emotionally prepared, but yeah, this is definitely on my short list TBR, I think. We've got Once More with Feeling by Elisa Sussman, and this is one where I would see it every single time I would go to Barnes, but for some reason I just wouldn't get it. So with the sale, I was like, okay, it's time. We're gonna get her. Next, we've got 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. And this is another one that I would see every time I would go to Barnes for like a year or two, like every single time. And I would almost get it. And for some reason, I just never would. But again, with the sale, no time like the present. And this is another one that I've heard nothing but just 5-star reviews about. Next up, we've got Superhost by Kate Russo. I don't know why, because this has nothing to do with the plot of Mamma Mia, but for some reason, it just gives me strong Mamma Mia vibes. I guess it's about kind of like an Airbnb host who is going through some things. I guess he has some guests who kind of change his perspective on things. And I don't know why that has Mamma Mia energy to me, but for some reason it just does. But I think that this is going to be a super cute summer read. Next, we've got Plastics by Scott Guild. And this is one I know nothing about, but it has been on my radar for the longest time based on the cover alone. But it looks like it's a surrealist dark comedy, which is right up my alley. So I think this is going to be a fun one too. Next up, we've got Flawless by Elsie Silver, and hot take, I sold my original cover on Pango because I think these covers are so much cuter than the originals. Like I'm so sorry. I know everybody loves them, but I feel like the mirror covers are fugly. I'm sorry. I just need to speak my truth. So I wanted to replace my original copy with the new cover, so we picked her up. Then I've got Hello Beautiful by Anne Napolitano, which I believe is just another coming of age as well, which you'll all know I love. Then we've got The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, and I don't know what this is, but everyone has been talking about it for years, so I was like, okay, we'll get it. On the table next to that, there was this book, which is God's Behaving Badly by Marie Phillips. Didn't even read the back of the book. Like, I don't even need to say anything. I don't need to read the back of the book to know. that I needed this. I got Sunburn by Chloe Michelle Howarth, which is another coming of age. And then, okay, these two books I got at a bookstore in Cleveland. It was a trauma experience for Sarah and me, so I already fully blocked out the name, but I wouldn't want to promote it anyway. Okay, that's just us being haters because it has very good reviews and it was highly recommended to her by her work friends. So it is just an us thing probably, but nonetheless, I got these in Cleveland. First, we've got End of the World and Hard-Boiled Wonderland by Haruki Murakami. Don't know what this is about, but with a title like that, I'm fucking sold. And then we've got Scrap by Kayla Henkel, which is another one that I was just sold immediately. This one is like a dark comedy about dysfunctional, rich, wealthy people. So immediate buy. We've got Long Island Compromise by Taffy Rodesser-Ackner. And this is a family drama. There's like a little quote in the blurb that says, "Were we gangsters? No, but we know how to start a fire." And that seems so juicy to me. But yeah, it's a family drama about a wealthy family and an incident that happened in the 80s that reshaped and redefined their family. So I think this one is going to be a very unputdownable book for me. I've got Swift River by S.E. Chambers, and this is another one that I was just fully sold on based on the cover alone, but the little blurb says, "A story of first friendships, family secrets, and finding the courage to let go. Swift River is a sensational debut that heralds the arrival of a major new literary talent." So absolutely sold on this one. Next, we've got Summer in the City by Alex Astor. And like, is that not the cutest little book you've ever seen in your life? Don't really know what this one is about. The back is just some dialogue, and from that dialogue, it appears that it's some sort of enemies or rivals to lovers kind of vibe. But yeah, I think that's such a cute little book. Then last, I got not last. I don't know why I said last. This is not last. Last in this stack because I have 3 other giant stacks. But anyway, last in this stack, we've got a special edition of Beach Read by Emily Henry. So pretty. Like, look at those sprayed edges, the foiling. Oh, it's top tier. I have Beach Read somewhere back there. Have I read it yet? No. But like, it was too pretty to not get. Okay. I need to go grab another stack. I will be right back. So I had to charge some batteries and let my camera cool down, but we're back for hopefully the final stretch of this haul. I feel like I've been filming for like 2 hours at this point, so I'm already not looking forward to editing this. But anyway, let's hop back in here. So next I've got Throwback by Maureen Gill, and this has a lot of Freaky Friday energy. This modern day teen has a huge blowout with her mom, and she gets sent back to the 90s to her mom's youth. So I'm super stoked for this one because obviously I'm a 90s girly, and just the nostalgia vibes are already immaculate, and I'm so excited for this one. Next, I got Mile High by Liz Tomford, which is, I think, the Windy City series, but it's a hockey romance between an NHL player and a flight attendant, and I've seen so many good reviews for this one and the series as a whole as well, and I'm here for a hockey romance. I feel like we are in a hockey romance era as a society, and to that I say, give us the soccer romances, my guy. I'm happy for the hockey girlies that they are getting all of these hockey romance books. I'm here for it. I don't really know anything about hockey. I've watched a couple Jackets games, but like, I don't know what's going on. I just know that they're allowed to fight. And the 2 great loves of my life are drama and theatrics. So you know I'm here for the fighting, but that's pretty much all I know about hockey. So yeah, don't really know what I'm getting into, but I have high hopes based on how everyone else feels about it. But I'm begging the book gods for some good soccer romances, because the ones we have are like not the best. Next up, we've got Beneath the Stars by Emily McIntyre, which is book 1 of the Sugar Lake series. Don't really know what all of that means, but the cover is so cute and the story seems so cute. It looks like it's a very dramatic childhood friends to lovers kind of vibe. Next, I've got One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. I have not read a Carly Fortune book. Don't really know what this is, but the cover is stunning and it was on like everyone who I watches most anticipated books of the year list. So I figured, who am I to not jump on that bandwagon? Okay, this next one is just kind of like an LOL book, but we've got Fan Service by Rosie Dannon. And you guys know, in my heart of hearts, in my core, I am a Teen Wolf girly. I will be a Teen Wolf girly until my dying breath. I was put on this earth to preach the good word of Teen Wolf. Go watch it on Paramount Plus. Anyway, I got this because it's like a rom-com between a guy on a werewolf show and then a fan, I guess. I don't know. It seems so silly, but like the Teen Wolf girly in me had to get it. Speaking of wolves, we've got Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I'm stressed about this one. I don't really know what to expect. The whole, what is it, like the nodding or whatever, if that's your journey in life, cool, but that's not my journey in life. And I don't know. I've seen a lot of things floating around about this. So I don't want to say I'm excited for this one, but I'm intrigued and I will keep you posted. We've got Factory Girls by Michelle Gallen, and this is about a girl in 1994 Ireland during the Troubles, and it has very, very Dairy Girls energy from what I can tell, and Dairy Girls is an all-timer, just 10 out of 10, no notes, perfect show. So very stoked for this. Okay, this next one is also just kind of like an LOL buy, but for some reason in the year 2025, I felt that it was necessary to buy Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. The cashier was probably just like, are you okay? Do I need to call someone? No, but yeah, I read this in my youth when like they came out, but I read it before I was like really back into reading, which is like kind of wild to say that I didn't care about reading in my youth because my entire life up until college, I wanted to be an English teacher, and then I switched gears at the last second. But anyway, I was very indifferent about it then, but I'm curious to know how I will feel about it as like a reader now. Maybe I should do like a reading vlog of rereading books from my youth. That might be kind of fun. Okay. Don't we make a mental note of that. Next, we've got The Book of Love by Kelly Link. And this is about several teenagers who go missing and they reunite later as ghosts. And it seems to have very school spirits energy, and that's one of my favorite shows. Again, go watch it on Paramount Plus, 10 out of 10, no notes. But the back says, welcome to Kelly Link's incomparable love send, where you'll encounter love and loss, laughter and dread, magic and karaoke, and some really good pizza. And that just seems so freaking cute to me. So this book probably isn't cute. It's probably actually just traumatic. That line plus like the school spirits of it all really reeled me in. Next, we've got How We Named the Stars by Andres Ordorica. Sorry about that pronunciation again. But yeah, this seems to be just like a college coming of age drama. These two books are ones that I also got in Cleveland with Sarah on our little excursion. And I can't remember the name of that bookstore either. Like that weekend was just a full fever dream. I will have a plan with me at some point with the happenings of that weekend, but it was a weird weekend and I don't remember the name of the bookstore. It was a second bookstore that we went to that was also a trauma experience that everyone loves and that all of her coworkers recommended. So again, it was 100% probably an us thing, but anyway. First, I've got Vintage Contemporaries by Dan Coes, and this just seems like such a Domi book. It takes place in 91 and 95, so it's like dual timelines, and just about a girl, I guess, trying to navigate her young adulthood. Not to be douchey, but like Vintage Contemporaries, like the name alone, it's just, oh, it's so good. Like, that's just a banger of a name. And then we've got After the Lights Go Out by John Vircher. And this is about a retired MMA fighter who has a CTE, or like a traumatic brain injury. And I think he has some kind of like dementia or something going on because of that. So I guess it's just about his life navigating everything after his career and with these new diagnoses. And he gets one last shot at redemption when he's offered a fight to like come out of retirement. Next, we've got Sea Friendship by Jeremy Gordon, and like the flip phones just really reeled me in with this one. But this is about a guy whose high school friend dies, and he goes back to his hometown to just kind of, I guess, figure out what happened. And it says that it's a poignant and funny novel about grief, loneliness, memory, and the unique existential questions inherent to the digital age. This one seems like another really great piece of millennial fiction that just kind of examines what it means to be a millennial. So I think that this one is going to be a super... Anyway, I feel like this one is just going to be a gut punch in the nostalgia feels. So I think this one is also going to be a TBR shortlist. So next we've got Real Americans by Rachel Khong, and this is a dual timeline between Y2K and 2021. So in the Y2K era, we have Lily, who is the child of immigrants, and she's an unpaid intern in New York who falls in love with a New Yorker, and then in 2021, her son feels like there's some things that she's hiding from him, so he goes on a quest to find his bio dad, I guess. Next we have The Extraordinary Disappointments. Yes, The Extraordinary Disappointments of Leopold Berry by Ransom Riggs. This cover is so sick. I'm obsessed with this cover, like the black sprayed edges. Like, it's just so freaking cool. The blurb on the back is not helpful, but it seems to be kind of some kind of like magical realism coming of age book. Ugh, like look how freaking sick the inside of this book is. But yeah, it looks like an old VHS tape, and it is just so freaking sick. Okay, if you've been watching my book hauls for a while, you're gonna be like, Domi, a third copy, really? I got another copy of Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. I did sell one, so right now I only have one other copy over here somewhere. But like, this has Pink Hollow on it, so like, y'all know I'm a sucker for a razzle dazzle, and like the cutie little pink sprayed edges. I'm sorry, but I can't see Hollow on a book and be expected to not get it. I know buying 3 copies of a book that you haven't even read yet is insane, but like, the hollow of it all. Okay, this is another one that I need to shortlist on my TBR. Next, we've got Hopscotch by Julio Cortázar, and this is about a guy who lives a very boho life in Paris. He's Argentinian, and he just has this little boho group of friends, and they're just going about their little free spirit lives. And then a child dies and someone disappears, and it's like a whole thing. And so yeah, this seems very interesting. We've got The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, and from what I understand from every single review that I have seen or read, is that this is going to absolutely fucking destroy me. It's about 2 sisters in occupied France, and my grandma was a teenager in occupied France, so she grew up during all of that. So I'm very drawn to this book because that is something that obviously had like a great effect on my family. So I am not emotionally prepared for this, but like also that cover is so pretty. Next we've got another translated book, which is Time Shelter by Georgi Kaspinidov, and it is about this place where people go for very futuristic alternative Alzheimer's treatments. And it looks like they run into this problem where the past and the present are like overlapping and intertwining, and things just get chaotic. The Final Wish of Mr. Murray McBride by Joe Sipple. And this is about a guy who spends 20 years trying to raise $1 million for charity. He reaches that goal and then he's like, okay, well, now what? And then he meets a little 10-year-old girl who is facing deportation, and he helps her fulfill 5 wishes before she is forced to leave the country. So this is another one that seems very apt for the current times, unfortunately. Next we have Darkly by Marisha Pessel, which follows a group of teens from all around the world who get picked to intern at a game design company, and things happen and things get weird. Next we have The Most Famous Girl in the World by Iman Hariri Kia. This is another one that just reeled me all the way in with the title and the cover. But this one looks like it is a campy, dark comedy, satirical look at fame and the modern celebrity. So this seems super interesting. I got the special edition of Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, but like this edition is just so freaking pretty. Like the cover just has like the most subtle iridescence. It's just so pretty. But from what I understand, this is a wild freaking ride, literally and figuratively. So we'll see. But I think this one is a romance between a figure skater and a hockey player. Next, we've got Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. And again, just the cutest cover, like the cutest little exclusive edition. I haven't really read an Abby Jimenez book, but I did just read her little short story novella, The Fall Risk. Cutest thing I've ever read. Based on that alone, she's like an auto-buy author for me now. It was so freaking cute, but I know that she's like an auto-buy author for like everyone in the booktube / book talk / online book community. So I guess she is for me now too, but The Fall Risk was so cute, and I'm so stoked to read all of her other books now. A handful of fantasy books, which fantasy is like my least favorite genre, and I know that's a hot take. Like I'll read it, but I'm never like itching to read a fantasy. You know what I mean? So anyway, first we've got Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. And I don't really know what this is about, but I love the cover, and it's been on my radar for like a couple years at this point. So again, with the sale, I was like, no time like the present. I've got Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. And I got this one because a while back, I impulse bought the second book in this series based on the cover alone, and I didn't realize that it was a series, so I figured I should go ahead and get the first one. Next, I got Son of Darkness by Gaurav Mahatni. Now, I will say, like, these next handful of fantasy books, I have no fucking idea what they are. Sarah spent like 45 minutes reading the backs of so many fantasy books, and then she got them, and then I was like, okay, well, if you're getting them, I guess I'll get them too. So here we are. Anyway, this one we got because it's black and gold. Columbus Crew fan confirmed. It's our current bit that we do. Anytime we see black and gold, literally anywhere in the wild, even if it's obviously nothing to do with the crew or soccer, black and gold, we're just like, Columbus Crew fan confirmed. And we think it's so funny every time. So that's why we got this. But also there's a wolf, and you know, we're teen wolf girlies. So next we've got Curious Tides by Pascal Lassalle. Have you ever in your lives heard a more fucking French name? I thought my name was hella French, but like it has nothing on Pascal Lassalle. That's unhinged. Okay, anyway, this cover is gorgeous. Like the metallic purple, the sprayed edges. I really hope this is good because Ugh, it is a stunning cover. 10 out of 10, no notes. Next three, like I didn't even look at in store. Sarah had them in her basket, so they went in my basket too. So we've got Coven by Harper L. Woods. That looks like AI. I don't know if I love that cover. Then we have Wisteria by Adeline Grace. And then we have The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart. So that is everything that I got at like bookstores or online or whatever. And then I'm gonna go grab all of my Aardvark and Book of the Month books, and I will be back in just a second to finish out the video. All right, we're on the home stretch. Thank you so much. If you're still here, I appreciate you. But we'll start with the Aardvark picks first. So first we have Julie Chan is Dead by Lian Zhang, and this is about an influencer who dies and then her twin sister kind of like assumes her identity. So this seems very, very juicy. I also picked up When the Tides Held the Moon by Vanessa Vida Kelly. Such a pretty cover. The reviews on this that I've seen are so good. I've heard some people throwing around modern classic also. So I'm very intrigued by this one. It has kind of fall energy to me though. I don't know if it's just like the moody colors, but yeah, this might be a fall read for me. I also did get When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy, but like I don't know what happened to it. I can't find it in my office. So it might be in my bedroom, or it might just be in one of these piles of books and I just missed it. I don't know, but that one I'm super stoked for as well. Picked up The Tainted Cup and A Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett. I don't really know what these are. I fell victim to the foiled limited edition hype, but they are stunning. Look how pretty that is. It's so like understated and classy looking, which are like my two least favorite things, but it's just so pretty. Like, I don't know what it is about it. Like, I'm obsessed. And like this one too, just, I can't handle it. But yeah, I think these are the ones that are like Sherlock Holmesy type mysteries, and you know, who doesn't love a good Sherlock Holmes moment? So I think these will be a fun read. Dead Money by Jacob Kerr, and the inside cover says, "Don't call me a fixer, this isn't HBO." Yeah, I was reeled all the way in by that line alone, but it's about like a problem solver in Silicon Valley, and a tech startup CEO gets murdered, and so then it turns into like a murder mystery thriller kind of vibe. So this one seems also really good, but I haven't heard anyone talk about it, so I'm curious if it's actually good or not. Then we have Upon a Starlit Tide by Kel Woods, and Flirting with Disaster by Naina Kumar. So for the book of the month, we have Count My Lies by Sophie Stava, which I am currently in the middle of. I like it so far. It seems promising. Next, we have The Griffin Sisters' Greatest Hits by Jennifer Weiner. And I'm actually mad at Book of the Month because I feel like they buried the lead with this cover being foiled. Like, I feel like they did not give us that memo. So I was so stoked when I pulled it out of the box and it was foiled. Although I will say, like, the t-shirt design of like the background stresses me every time I look at it because like I think it's damaged, but it's just like the book cover. Next, I've got Fun for the Whole Family by Jennifer Smith, and this is one of my most anticipated books from this whole haul. It's about 4 siblings who were besties for the resties growing up. As they've grown older, they've all just kind of gone their own separate ways and they don't really talk anymore. And then one of them demands that all of them meet up for a like reunion weekend and just kind of like air everything out. And yeah, I think it'll be really good. Also, one of the siblings is a gay soccer player, and that's all I needed to hear, to be honest. So yeah, if you've read this one, let me know if my hopes are too high or if it's actually good. We have The Sun Was Electric Light by Rachel Morton. And this is another one that's like foiled. This one, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't read the description for it. I just got it because it was like an early release and I wanted to be in the know. So Next, we've got Passion Project by London Sperry. This is another one that seems so freaking cute. It looks like it's a rom-com about a guy who is trying to help a girl find her passion in life. So they try a whole bunch of hobbies together, and I assume that in the end, they're each other's passion project. That was so stupid. I'm so sorry. But I assume they get together. I mean, how could they not? Next, we've got The Bombshell by Darrow Farr, and this is another one of my most anticipated of this whole haul. I haven't really seen too many people talk about it, but the ones I have seen talk about it are very passionate about it, and it is a coming of age that takes place in Corsica in 1993, and you all know I'm all about those 90s, 2000s coming of age stories. And I guess it's about this girl's political awakening, sexual awakening, all of the awakenings. So I'm very, very, very stoked for this. Another of my most anticipated is My Friends by Frederick Bachman. I already know this is going to be iconic, and it's definitely going to be a June read for me. I can't wait to dig into this one. Next, we have Phantasma by Kaylee Smith, and this is one that I feel like everybody loves, and I don't really care that much about it, but it was like one of the book of the year picks, so I was like, okay, if it's free, I mean, might as well. So I'm intrigued by this because I don't know, everyone loves it so much, so I feel like it has to be good. I don't know. Another one of my most anticipated of the haul, and that is First Time Caller by B.K. Borison, and this allegedly has major Sleepless in Seattle vibes, and Sleepless in Seattle is one of the unequivocal best 90s rom-coms. Like, it's not even a debate. So I am very stoked to dig into this one as well. So that was my haul. Thank you for watching. If you made it to the end, let me know because I appreciate you and I love you. But if you made it all the way through, let me know which books I should read first, which books you like from this haul, and I will add them to my shortlist TBR. Okay, I'm going now, I promise. Thank you again for watching. See you in the next one, hopefully later days.